Welcome to the first webinar of the sequences of webinars we are going to devote to Vena solutions. We are going to present 5 ways of optimizing the planning in Excel through Vena. Here you can see the different topics we are going to discuss. First of all, we will discuss some interesting facts about Excel. Then we will explain a brief business case related to planning in Excel, which will help us identify the most common problems. Finally, we will explain how Vena solves those inefficiencies, ending with a first insight of Vena facilities. As you may already know, Excel is still the most widely used software for management and data analysis purposes around the world. According to the Microsoft's official website, 30 million of users use it for those functions. This entails that the 89% of the companies are actually using Excel for their planning, budgeting, and forecasting processes. This success is mainly due to the functionalities it offers, such as flexibility, ease of use, accessibility, and its calculation capacities. However, this tool also has some well-known limitations, such as the high tendency to make technical or human mistakes, the uncontrolled growth, and the excessive amount of time taken for its creation, usage, and maintenance. In order to illustrate these inefficiencies of Excel, we will present a hypothetical planning case which is common among businesses. Suppose that, within a company, both the planning and sales department have a monthly or quarterly planning structure which can also be applied for all of the other processes within the company. In our scenario, the responsible for each department should fill an Excel with the structure of the costs of its own department. Then, they send the Excel to the person in charge of consolidating the results in a master Excel file from which the last estimations and reports will be obtained. The structure of those files that need to be filled by each department will most likely be the same as the structure in the master Excel file, so that the person in charge of the consolidation can combine them easily by just copying and pasting or by applying macros. Moreover, the expectations of the costs for some of the departments might be influenced by others or may need central drivers from other departments. Even outsourced external partners have to be taken into account in order to complete their planning. It might happen that this third party is not able to see all the information, and therefore other ways of communication are needed, such as sending some data by email or creating additional copies. Not only will this lead to a chaos of versions, copies, and uncertainty about the completion of the tasks, but also the time spent and the tendency to make errors will be high. The more people involved in the process, the more chaos. Now that we have established the case, we can prove the main inefficiencies of working with Excel. We are going to explain them in the next slides. The first inefficiency is related to the high time-consuming tasks. The supervisors of the reports on Excel will have more important tasks to finish for the normal business activities than those reports, but the increasing need of time for them will lead to a lower priority for the tasks that truly add value. The alternative would be hiring more full-time employees dedicated exclusively to the creation of reports, what would entail an oversizing of the workforce. However, by incorporating Vena, we managed to reduce the time used due to providing a workflow for the planning, which is reusable and besides this also preserve what is already done in Excel with its calculations. Hence, we leverage the time that was invested in the creation of the model, making it highly adaptable. Moreover, the time for implementation and training is reduced. The second inefficiency is the high error prone. As a result of sending and receiving several copies of Excel between the people that are involved in the process, undesirable changes can appear, which will endanger the veracity of the data obtained. This will originate an additional increase in the time used on searching and amending those errors. With Vena, each user or contributor has a template assigned. Here, they input the data that goes to a central database where all the data is automatically consolidated. Moreover, those users cannot modify the templates, which can be reused over time. As a matter of fact, JP Morgan lost more than $6 million in the case of London Whale because of errors made by the use of copy and paste in their risk management Excel. The third inefficiency is the impossibility of auditing the changes. While Excel doesn't allow the user to track the changes that have been made in the template, Vena allows you to know at any time who has made a change, when, in which particular cell, and what the previous value was, and even has a possibility to restore the Excel to a certain point in the past. The inefficiency 4 is the difficulty of controlling the security levels. It may be the case that not all the people within an organization need to have access to all the information. How would Excel solve that? We would probably create different copies with a partial structure of the original Excel. This will lead to an increase in the time needed for the consolidation of the partial reports into the original one. Vena, nevertheless, allows selective access to the tasks or templates depending on the user's role within the company. The data entered into those templates are automatically consolidated. Remember that the templates are reusable along the time, so that their structure and access are established only once. The fifth and last inefficiency is the oversize of the report. As we have already seen from our experience, as time passed by, the initially simple reports turn into multiple unmanageable sheets referring one to another. This is translated into errors, and moreover, only some of the workers at the company fully understand those sheets. Vena allows to split the planning by providing a structured workflow, which includes documents with instructions and make the expansion of the model easy, and in this way creates sustainability over time. How can Vena solve all these inefficiencies and simultaneously preserve the best qualities of Excel, combining the best parts of both worlds? By adding a workflow that allows getting rid of multiple emails and which assigns each task to the users with the corresponding templates. The data entered through a task is reviewed and approved by the person in charge, consolidated automatically in the OLAP queue, and retrieved for the creation of tailor-made reports such as balance sheets or P&Ls within others. We are able to do this in a sequential and structured way, which gives the opportunity for the exchange of knowledge and instructions or comments between the users. What also has to be kept in mind is that all this can be easily integrated in the database of the company itself. Finally, I would like to show an example of the use of a workflow, which can add a lot of value to the process. We will not see technical details, as we will discuss this more thoroughly in the next webinars. As you can see in the slide, users only have access to the tasks they are assigned to. Moreover, the task status appears, as well as the instructions on how to complete them, or, if applied, the comments between the users involved. We have seen that Excel is a versatile, highly accepted tool, but it has some risks and limitations. Changing to traditional CPM solutions means a higher amount of invested time and training, generating a rigid, complex environment with a high need of personnel. Vena is easily adapted to the actual planning process, making use of the time invested for the creation of templates and reports. By using the database, Vena also incorporates all the best CPM functions. Please take note that this has been the first webinar of a Vena solution sequence, in which we will talk deeply about the usage and operation of this tool. I hope you got a better insight of Vena solutions and the opportunities it offers. For more information, please look at our website or contact us directly by emailing us to the addresses provided in this slide.